Tony played his first round of Texas Hold'em. He got 3 kings, thinking he'd make a fortune, but the bully bet all his money at that moment. This meant Tony had to match the same amount if he wanted to win, but as a freshly graduated college student, he had no money. So, he went to the bully's loan office. Using his father's noodle shop as collateral, he signed a loan for $1 million. As Tony and the bully kept raising the stakes, the other players were so scared they folded their straight flush. Now only Tony and the bully were left in the game. During their conversation, a woman with legs nearly 2.8 meters long walked up. She naturally embraced the bully. Then the bully offered Tony a chance to win back his losses. They would gamble $50,000 alone. Tony hesitated for a moment, but the onlookers started cheering. One person thought the bully was just bluffing. Another believed the bully had a powerful hand. Tony decided to reveal his 3 kings. Just as he was about to stand up and act confident, he suddenly heard the bully laugh. The bully said he'd show Tony what real luck looked like. Then, the bully revealed his cards in front of everyone. Tony saw 3 aces. It was then that he realized he'd been tricked by the bully. But it was too late. When Tony's father found out, he immediately gathered all their wealth and went to the bully to pay for Tony's release. However, the bully refused to let Tony go. It was all part of his plan to lure Tony's father. Tony's father realized the bully's intentions, so he suggested Tony leave first, and that he'd gamble with the bully. He warned Tony that gamblers rarely win, and if you get caught up in gambling, there's no way out. Then he sent Tony away, before calmly asking the bully what he wanted. The bully said they should gamble with dice, so the bully started shaking the dice, then quickly opened the cup to reveal 6 sixes. No one at the table knew, but Tony's father had once been a master at cheating. In his hands, the dice cup moved so fast, the bully couldn't spot any flaws. When the cup dropped and opened, it revealed 7 sixes. The bully lost again to Tony's father. Furious, the bully, on his own turf, resorted to violence. He had his men break Tony's father's hand. When Tony's father was brought back, he had already turned to a handful of ashes. Fueled by hatred, Tony decided to seek out the drunkard, to learn his tricks. Out of respect for his friendship with Tony's father, the drunkard agreed to take Tony as his disciple. His method of teaching was to have Tony follow the king of gamblers, because any cheater would eventually slip up. A true master never wins on the table themselves. So, Tony witnessed the king of gamblers' every move. He saw a rich second-generation straight flush lose to the king's royal flush. Unable to accept his loss, the rich second generation asked for a rematch. This time, he even put a girl on the line, claiming the girl owed him $400,000. If he lost, the girl's debt would be his. But the king of gamblers clearly had no interest in the girl. When the rich second generation saw the girl was no longer useful, he ordered his men to dispose of her. Tony couldn't stand by and let it happen, so the king of gamblers let Tony take his turn. Since Tony joined the game because of the girl, the rich second generation set the terms. If Tony won, the girl's debt would be forgiven. If he lost, Tony's money would belong to him, and Tony would be at his mercy. The game began. Tony drew an ace first. The rich second generation quickly followed with an ace of his own. But then, the rich second generation suddenly ordered his men to move on the girl. This betrayal distracted Tony, so the rich second generation took the opportunity to draw a second ace. When Tony drew again, he only got a king. At this point, the rich second generation